All right, so I guess we are live. If my voice is audible on the chat, kindly let me know. If I'm audible, let me know in the chat, guys. Give me 1 second. All right. All right. Give me 1 second. There is some lag. It should be all right now. Um, Sorry about the lag. Yeah, we should be good now. We should be good now. What is about the men? You can. I'll check it out. Don't worry. I'll check it out when the registration's open. I'll announce it on the on my page and I'll check it out. Don't worry about your mentorship doubts. We'll wait for some more people to join in. Any doubts you can send on the all chat. We'll discuss the market view in like a few minutes. Gold and Alok Industries, all right. But let's check out. All right. Yeah. So what is going on in gold? Gold is falling. So there was a long in gold around this demand zone. Like this one I'd taken, but then I exited somewhere here. I think in this candle. So all right, so gold is reacting from this daily time frame supply right here, right? And the next proper area of demand is somewhere here, right? This is the just a continuation demand, right? This is the demand which is inside the previous range low, at on the previous range low. So be a bit careful if you take a long trade here. You might get some reaction, but I'm not really sure if it's gonna help out. So what might happen is you might get a reaction till this supply, all right, till somewhere here, and then it might continue to drop. And first of all, do not short here. It's already fallen a lot. So you do not want to short here, right? Gold. These supplies, you can definitely try a short. Even though it's at a daily demand zone, I do not really expect any kind of big spike from the current zone. All right. So just 12 people watching. All right. We'll wait for more people to join in. And then we will discuss the market view. In the meantime, I'll check your doubts. R power again. All right. R power. All right, R power is hitting lower circuits. Just a second. So R power, we discussed about this demand zone, I think. So how do you need to enter here? See, first of all, you should be knowing that this is also extended. All right. this is also this is also still extended. If you see, this is the proper area of demand from where the move, actually the trend started. All right, this is just a continuation demand. So if you're taking this one, you should know that this is still an extended area, right? So now if you want to take here, you buy with a small quantity. Suppose the market starts running up, you don't miss out on it. And this is your demand zone. All right, this is your supply right here. So it's basically formed. It has formed this reference range, which is this area right here. So since it's holding the range low, you can take a long here, expect some kind of a move. But if this demand zone starts going, then exit, because this is still very extended. All right. So that is our power. Can you please tell how you analyze charts? So I mean that there are a lot of things I cannot really just tell everything at once, because it'll take a lot of time. Um, but you can pick up things from my lives. That is why the live is done, not to talk about stocks, to actually help you guys out with your analysis. All right. So that is why the live is done, not because I just want to discuss about stocks. So you can pick up things, and you can analyze from there on, and then you can ask your doubts, of course. All right, so BSC and VTL. All right, VTL is a really good stock actually. BSCC, again, I was discussing about this. You don't buy here. All right, when this kind of move happens, you don't buy here. This supply will act up. All right, and that is what happened with the market crash, and now it's reacting from this demand zone. So now it's far, but the 50 EMA is very, very important. Always keep that in mind. So structure is good, no doubt about it. The structure is good. You can find your entries on the lower time frame. All right, VTL as well. VTL, actually, there was an entry here I posted on already. It's already marked. So VTL is also all right, but nothing yet. Let it test out this supply and maybe form a range like this. So something like this might happen, and then you might get the next leg up. All right. So um, you can wait for this one. Any long-term investing? I do not really do long-term investing as such, so I have no idea about it. All right. Nifty view we'll discuss in 2 minutes. Almonds Global. Almonds Global, nothing. You should exit that. Why are you still holding from 114? I mean, if you're not buying it for long term, you should exit. You should have exited right here when this structure started to break down. This demand zone, basically, this was the demand zone which was holding, right? So once this started to go, you should have exited. I think the promoters are buying in this, right? So you can actually hold it if you want to for long term. But a proper area to buy this would be somewhere, maybe here as well. So you can take your call, but the structure is not bullish anymore. All right, Angel One. Let's check out Angel One. So Angel One, not all right. Angel One. This supply has been tested, and now it's trying to form a range again. So let it form this range. The chart is really good, but the fall is very sharp. All right, so it will probably go sideways after testing this supply as well. So when this supply is tested, just make sure that it does not react very negatively. That will indicate that maybe it's ready for the next up move. And of course, the market should also be bullish with it. That is given. Um, Vodafone Idea. All right. Vodafone Idea, again, bearish structure. Once this zone is taken out, it's bearish. So this was the zone right here. You can take this low as well. Now it's starting to go. So it can come down till here, which is 10.2 something. So don't buy it here. All right. If you're holding it from this level, you should have exited earlier. All right. Isn't this forming an inward? What is an inward VCP? First of all, never heard of that term. Naukri again. Why are you buying Naukri? Don't buy Naukri. All right. Do not buy Naukri. We've discussed this multiple times. Naukri, Godrej Properties, all these stocks are the weak structures. All right, so uh, something might be bad here. So don't buy these. These are clearly downtrending structures. Never buy these. Do you see fundamentals while trading the chart? No, I do not. I do not actually. It's better if you stick with the current theme. Suppose now if you see all EV stocks are spiking up, any stock which comes out with an EV announcement is spiking up. So that helps with a bigger move, but the chart will tell you when the move has to happen. So something like what was it? JBM Auto, for example, right? So so if you're sticking with what's hot in the current market, you might catch it here and you might be able to hold it for a longer period of time. That's the only difference when you're watching fundamentals. So trading, suppose you're buying stocks without just looking at technicals. It's basically you're driving a car without knowing when you have to apply the brakes, right? So that is the only difference, but it doesn't really matter because I'm not looking for a long term move. All right. If you're looking for that bigger move multiple times, then you'll have to research some fundamental story and then time your entry on the chart, of course. Chart is the primary tool. Fundamentals will just help you hold it for a longer period. That's it. Yeah, we're talking about Sheila foam. All right. All right. Sheila foam, nothing in Sheila foam yet. You see, until this supply is tested, the stock will remain range bound. So don't engage in this chart right now. All right. So let's talk about the index, Nifty. Right. So Nifty, I'll just talk about what I've done in the day till now. Right. So Nifty, this was the overnight fall. This is not Nifty. This is not exactly Nifty. This is India 50. All right. It's similar to Nifty futures. So this is the supply right here. All right. So the first it in when the day opened, it spiked up into that supply, which is this is the day open candle right here. This one. This is the 9:15 candle right here. So it spiked up into that supply, but there was no short entry exactly. It just started to fall down. So I did not engage here. And then this was the internal demand. So internal demand zones also have discussed what is an internal demand. This is an internal demand from where it reacted. All right, and then I took a short somewhere here. So I'll tell you where the entry was. So my short entry was somewhere here, right? And my stop was above this supply, of course. So I was targeting a new low on the day, but when it started to build up right here, I exited around my cost, and now I'm not really willing to engage in this range bound structure anymore. All right. So I'll just clear everything out. So your main zones or main levels, if you want to say it that way, is this supply right here and this demand zone basically. You can take the day low as well, which is this area. So right now it's still range bound. I'm not really. I mean, I don't really think there will be any kind of big bearish move today. So I wouldn't engage here. But for longs, there is a lot of time. There are a lot of supplies here. So there is one supply here, one supply here. So it will take some time to build up around these supplies. All right, it will take some time to build up, and then maybe go up. So no long, of course, no long here. It's still in a downtrending flow, and these demand zones are getting weaker as well. So you might see some reaction, but a big fall might not happen, which is why I won't really participate here after such a big down move. All right. So you got your zones. Now you can work around it. I am not really doing anything anymore today, especially on the short side. And Bank Nifty was stronger in the morning, right? It's still actually pretty strong. It's holding the uh, day low demand, and the supply. There is no supply. There is this internal supply right here. So very range bound action, not trying to go anywhere. And this is not a break of structure or anything. All right. Until these extreme zones are starting to go, there will not be any movement in the index, of course. So be careful on the short side. You can look to play longs if it sets up, but shorts I will avoid this. KPIT technologies. Um, all right, let's check it out. It's actually good. It has not corrected all the way down, but again, it's the same thing. right? This supply, this is the supply which you want to watch. If it starts to go sideways around this supply and the 50 EMA catches up, so somewhere here might be the entry for KPIT. So somewhere around mid Feb, that is what my guess is. All right. So let's see if this plays out. We'll save this chart. LNT. All right. Nothing in LNT yet. Nothing in LNT yet. It's not even trying to outperform. Still a very strong structure. LNT, Grasim, all these stocks, all these economy stocks, economy stocks, or whatever you want to call it. They're shaping up good, but wait for some kind of test. Right now, it's still in the downtrend. All right. So maybe you can wait for an hourly supply. Maybe you can wait for this hourly supply right here, and then you can find some entry. All right, Dixon Technologies. Dixon again, nothing. This see, you will see this kind of a structure when things are starting to go. When demand zone is about to get taken out, you will see that the price is just sitting there doing nothing. All right. So you will see this kind of a structure. So when you see this and you see that the stock is trying to go down, then exit the stock. Do not hold this and do not buy it. Even though it's at the previous base, there is no entry right now in Dixon. So don't do anything here. It's not going anywhere. India Mart as well. India Mart, actually I was looking for a short trade, but I right. So I'll just discuss that as well. So India Mart, I'll just explain the entire distribution framework and where was I looking for a short trade. So you see, this was the last demand which led to the last high right here. Right, there is no new high after it in the entire uptrend of the stock. All right. So once this gets broken, then these supply zones are very strong. All right, these supply zones are very strong. And now there was no. I was trying a short here or somewhere here, but there was a lot of space on the upside, so I was mentally prepared for this, right? So I exited there, right? So it went up. Now again, same demand which broke through all these supplies. Again, it's trying to take that out. So if it has gone up once from here and it's coming here and testing it 5-6 times, this is bound to happen. All right, this entire thing is bound to happen, and it's happening in so many stocks. So it was a very clear short and definitely not a hold. All right, same here as well. Look at this. Look at this. Once this is broken, then there is a clear bearish flow till the previous base. All right. All right. Kaplan point. Web of Global. Again, Web of Global. There is nothing in Web of Global. There is no entry yet. I talk about it in almost every single live. There is no entry yet. Let it set up. It's falling continuously. There is no entry in Web of Global. All right. All right. So Kaplan point labor. Let's check it out. Yeah, nothing in this as well. It's actually holding this area. The supply is tested. It can be bullish. All right. This supply is tested as well. So there might be some entry in this. I mean, chart is all right. Honestly, not bearish at all. This is the proper demand actually. This one made the last high, so this is the proper demand. So chart is all right. You were a bit far from the demand, so be a bit careful. All right, TVS Electronics. Let's check it out. TVS Electronics is good. I think we've discussed this as well. This is bullish, but there is no entry at this point. All right, there is no entry at this point because again, the same thing can happen. So you always want to be a bit careful, even though the market has corrected. So this might work out. So if you're taking here, take it with a small size. I would never take it here. All right. For me, there is no entry here. But you're at an advantage because the market has corrected. So that helps. All right. NTPC. Let's check out NTPC. NTPC again. No, avoid this. The demand zone which led to the move is here. So yeah, NTPC, avoid this. Are you holding Maharashtra Seamless? Yeah, I'm holding Maharashtra Seamless. Yes, GP Associate. I don't even know what price it's trading at anymore. I'll just hold it. JP Associate nothing again. JP Associate nothing right now. This supply again. So see, whenever the stock falls, this is the external zone, basically the zone of the previous base, and this is the zone of the current move, which you can call an internal zone. The term doesn't really matter. All right. So now this becomes your reference range. So until this supply is taken out, you won't get any move. All right. So you always, when you're seeing the chart, you want to mark your reference range, which is this area right here. So the stock will rotate around in this area. If the demand breaks, avoid. If the supply starts to go, then you can take a long. All right, Confidence Petroleum. Let's check it out. Right, so we're talking about this supply again and again. The supply right here. Every time it goes up, it reacts sharply. Again, it's trying to go up. So if it stays here for 2 or 3 days, you can actually buy it. If it stays above this level, above the 50 EMA. Chart is still good. No problem with the chart at all. All right, FEM Industries. Let's check it out. All right, FEM Industries. It's all right, honestly. But again, this supply right here. So you see, when this kind of a sharp fall happens, this becomes your reference range. This is the same thing. It happens again and again. The stock will be range bound here. So again, the stock will be range bound here. All right. So this is how things play out. It forms a new reference range, and then it goes range bound in that area. So Nifty is dropping. All right. So there is no strength at this demand. We can see a reaction till the low. All right. Let's. Still confused about structure that form on demand that lead to price up movement. See, when the demand, when the price comes back to the demand zone, all right, it creates supplies on the way down. Of course, it's downtrending, right? It creates supplies on the way down. So when the demand is about to go, when the demand is about to, I mean, hold, this supply will be tested, and then it will start to get taken out. All right. So this is where your entry should be. All right. And this is how a rounding bottom is formed. It's not a random line which forms in the middle of nowhere. All right. A rounding bottom is formed when the internal supply is starting to get taken out by this demand zone. All right. So don't just draw a rounding bottom because you see four candles like this. A rounding bottom, if there is no supply here, so this is our rounding. Suppose the stock is sideways and then this drops like this. So if it forms a rounding bottom here, this has no meaning at all. Right. So it's a bit more intricate than what people assume. So if the stock just falls in a straight line, this is not a rounding bottom which you want to trade. All right, because there is no supply which is being absorbed here. So if the supply is not there, then this can just be a pullback and then it can dump back down. But when the stock falls like this, and then this entire structure is created, this is the rounding bottom which will lead to the move till the next supplies. Right. So this is what you will see when the stock comes down to the demand zone. So let's just see this one today, this example itself, right? I'll just clear everything out. This was the demand right here. Or let's just see on the short side, on the supply. All right, this is the supply area right here. I'll just invert the chart so that you can see it from the perspective of the demand zone. All right. So this is the inverted chart, right? So you see when this came down into this supply right here. See, when this came down into this zone, you see there's an immediate reaction back up to this internal supply, which is right here. All right, I'll just remove the zone. So there is an immediate reaction back up to this internal supply area or internal zone. Then when this gets tested and starts to get taken out, that is when you see a move till the next zone. All right. Now again here, see the internal zone is right here. All right. So once this is starting to get taken out, this is a good shot into the next demand zone of the high time frame, maybe 5-15 minutes. All right. So this is how a rounding bottom is formed. This entire supply is absorbed, and then the thing starts going, right? It's just not a random curve. So kindly don't do that. And this is probably going to drop further. All right, Alok Industries, Maharashtra Seamless or Maharashtra Seamless. Let's check it out. I don't really remember my entry in that as well. I think it's the same price. I entered somewhere here, I think. It's the same price probably. Alok Industries has gone up so much. Why do you want to buy for positional right now? You should have bought for positional around this area, not here. Definitely no. National Aluminium entered yesterday at 100 rupees. All right, we'll check that out. Entered yesterday at 100 rupees. So yeah, the demand is good. The demand which you have uh, chosen is good. This is the demand zone right here. Now let's see. So the only problem here is that there was a supply. So you should have expected a gap down. So this is what I was talking about. Now it will form a range in this area. All right. It will form a range in this area, and then it will give some kind of an up move. It will happen every single time. Look at this. Demand zone, supply zone. This is your reference range. All right. This one breaks down. So again, next demand zone. Again, demand zone, supply zone, reference range. Breaks out. Again, big move till the next supply. So this is how the market price, I mean, the price is delivered. All right. Nifty Energy. All right, Nifty Energy is good, but again, same thing right here. And actually there is no demand zone at all in Nifty Energy. This was the zone which took out this supply. So until I get Nifty Energy here, I wouldn't engage with Nifty Energy. All right. Nifty Pharma, very bad structure. So we are expecting a move from here, which it happened, but then it started to fail again. So avoid this at all costs. All right, Nifty FMCG. Again, downtrending. There is no point trading these supply, just falling from supplies again and again. BLS International, all right. Yeah, this is actually a good chart. It's actually uptrending as well, surprisingly, not breaking this low. So you can look for entries here. It's at the circuit. It's at circuit today, but you can definitely look for entries here. This is a good chart. DLF again. DLF is starting to break down. Um, I suggested an entry in DLF here. So my entry was somewhere here around 408. All right, expecting this contraction to resolve on the upside till this supply. All right, but it started to break down here, so this is where I exited, and you should have exited as well. There is nothing anymore in DLF. Manali Petrochemical. All right, Manali Petro again forming the range as we had discussed. This supply, wait for it to get taken out, and then we'll see some kind of action. Nothing yet in Manali Petro. SDFC Bank. All right. Again, nothing in SDFC Bank. Don't invest. It's actually the weakest bank nifty. I mean, I think it's very weak. Right. So nothing in SDFC Bank as well. Yeah, the structure is not just not good in the market. But still, I'll not short. I'll not take shots here because I don't expect any big fall. There is a lot of demand here. Maybe some V-shaped reaction from this demand. Maybe. Um. All right. So SDFC Bank. There is nothing in SDFC Bank. What do you think about the index? Good place to invest or diving deep? It depends on what you are trying to do. All right. So if you're trying to invest here, there is no structure at all in the market right now. All right. So there is no point buying stocks here. We're just trying to go lower. Maybe if you see, maybe if we cut this low and we come down to somewhere here, maybe around 16,000 is a great place to invest. Not right now. There is no structure. If it resolves the structure, so how will it resolve the structure? If it starts to trade in this area, right? If it goes up and starts trading in this area, then you can look for an investment. Then we might see some up move. All right, power grid. Power grid. I mean, it's very difficult to recommend this at this level, but it's just so strong. It's also breaking through this all-time high. I mean, the chart is just really, really good. All right. Any dip, you buy the stock. All right. It's really good. Not at this level though. I mean, see, when you're trading, when you are, I suppose, if you're trading like me, if you're trading for a short-term trade, then it's very difficult to buy here because any correction and this demand zone will get tested very fast. So cannot recommend. But if it dips down, if the market happens to dip more, then definitely this is one thing you should keep on watch. See, whenever you are concerned about uh, where the stock is, right? If it's a good place to buy or not in an uptrend, just look at where the 50 EMA is, right? 50-day moving average. If it's far from the 50-day moving average, don't buy it. IEX and IEX is done. IEX is done. So IEX again, this was the demand zone we were talking about, right? But of course, you, it can come down here. But you could have traded this demand as well. There was no entry here actually, and then this was the exit when the structure starts to change and it forms a new low. So the same thing gets repeated in almost every single stock. So Nifty has started to drop. Let's see. I won't participate on the short side today, especially when if I'm getting an entry here in the morning and I'm exiting here, then there is no reason to short here because I already had an opportunity which I gave up. So now I'll just let it go. Don't chase these moves when your bias is correct. All right. Always want the stock at your price. If it doesn't come, let it go. Inox wind. All right. Okay. There are some lines here as well. Let's see what they are. Yeah. So Inox wind. The structure is cool, but again reference range. Look at this. Same thing again and again. This is the supply, and then this is your demand, and here becomes your reference range. So if it starts to take out this supply, only then enter. Nothing yet. You take from ICC Direct for medium time frame by yes. If how he manages trigger price on the downside, I'm not really sure what trigger price you're talking about. I just exit manually. So I'm always tracking the index. If the index starts to go bad, I will exit my trades. I am not exiting actually with the stock, especially when the market is getting so volatile. All right. So I think you're talking about the stop loss, but I cannot really. I mean, I just exit manually. All right. Inox Wind Energy. All right. I'll check that out. Bajaj Holding. Bajaj Holding another very strong. I mean, strong promoter buying. It's not even falling. What? Still at 5200. Wow. Yeah. This is a really strong chart. You should definitely buy it whenever it sets up. And promoters are buying very heavily in this chart as well. Borosil Renewables. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. It's setting up though. It is testing out this supply, which is a good sign. But nothing yet. The chart is good. Is there any blocks in demand zone in SD? I do not get that question. I'm sorry. I really do not get that question. Reliance Infra. All right. Still strong. Still holding this base right here. This is the reference range it's forming, so it can still go up. If the market stays stable, it will definitely go up. Everyone can see that power grid is consolidating in that range will force retailers to buy. No, that's not true. You don't think that you are above retailers, all right? This is a very wrong, um, thought process. All right, never think that way because then you will always tend to wait for that thing to happen. All right, and that does not. The thing which you're expecting, it's not because people are getting shaken out. All right, people have their stop losses below the range. So this move doesn't shake out anyone, right? And it's not big enough for some big mutual fund to come and buy it. So don't have that kind of thought process. It will hurt you in the long run. All right, just follow the price action. Just follow the where the demand zone is. The demand is right here. So if this demand holds, if it comes down and this demand holds, and then this supply is starting to get taken out, then you expect some up move. If this demand breaks, then you expect a move till here. This is it. This is a simple trading plan, and you can then leverage it out whenever you're good enough. So don't think that way. Just try to reason out the structure. I mean, don't engage in trading psychology, all that stuff. That is not really helpful. You're just making up stories for your own, self fulfillment. So just honest advice. All right. Inox Wind Energy. Let's see where it is. All right, this one. Yeah, I cannot talk about this. Very liquid. Sorry, I cannot talk about this. Structure is still not good though. Structure is not good. It's strong, but where will you enter? All right. What the fuck is this? Yeah. So it's strong, but don't enter here, of course. Bandhan Bank holding from 269. All right, it's 322. 269 is somewhere here, so I think you caught the right uh, area for the supply break. But I wouldn't hold it. But yeah, we can hold it. You can hold it. It's good. So Nifty is dropping as expected, but again, uh, I wouldn't really participate here. Should have held this one, to be honest. Yeah. What do I see now? I've discussed this. This was the weak structure, so now it's coming to this demand. I do not really expect a big down move. This was expected, which we've been discussing for the last few minutes. Now there is nothing nifty. Do not short here. This is not a breakdown, right? Bank Nifty as well, trying to go down. All right. Let's pick. All right, Southern Petrochemicals. Nothing here again. Very wide range. Um, Nothing here. Again, reference range is yet to form. All right. When should be the entry in Reliance Infra? I'll check it out. Reliance Infra, see. So just go to the hourly chart, right? You can actually take a little entry right here, but since the market is already downtrending, you should be a bit careful with your entries. This supply is your reference supply. When you see that the price is sitting here and holding this demand zone, then you enter with your stop below this low, right? So what do I mean by holding this area? So suppose this is the supply area right here. The price will react like this and then just go sideways here. This is where you want to buy it. All right. All right. What stock is this? I'm not sure. It's a recent IPO, I think. All right, it's not. All right, so I cannot even pronounce that. Again, reference range is starting to get taken out, but this is your reference demand now. All right, so wait for a dip and then you can buy it. The structure is actually great. Uh, of course, it's extended from the lows, so you can do nothing about it when the market recovers like this. But the structure is good enough. God, it not will not think. Yeah, see, when you're thinking like that, someone is getting trapped, someone is getting shaken out. The point is, you're not really forming a trade plan based on what you're being shown. You're forming a trade plan based on what you think will happen. All right. So you don't have. Suppose the opposite thing happens. You will basically suppose power grid just breaks out from there itself. You will be at a state of loss because I mean not monetary loss because you won't enter there, but you won't be able to reason out that move and then you will look for something else. All right, so you don't want to talk in terms of retailers getting caught, someone else getting caught, because what will happen is if it breaks out, then what happened to your retailers getting caught? All right, so then your reason would be this time it did not happen, next time it might happen in some other stock. So this time did not happen, next time it will happen. Then any reason is good if you can just uh, insert that argument into a sentence. All right, कि this time did not happen, next time it will happen. So that is not exactly a very concrete trading plan. All right, so whenever I see a chart, my trading plan is this is my demand, this is my supply. Now whatever starts to get taken out, that is where I'll get the biggest up move, and it plays out very well. Look at this. This is the demand, this is the supply, so I don't have to worry about who's getting trapped. I'm seeing that some structure is getting broken, breakout, retest, and then immediate entry and up move. So it plays out every single time. So you have to uh, create a simple system where you can track the stock properly. All right, don't get stuck in and see here as well. Suppose this is the demand, this is the supply area, gets broken out, comes down and keeps slowing downwards, so no entry here. All right, so just a simple system, it will work out every single time. All right, so Nifty is reacting from the lows, which we are expecting. But let's see again. You just open the chart, mark your reference range. The reference range is somewhere here. This entire area is your area of supply. All right, all these zones, and this is your area of demand. So whatever starts to get taken out, then you can see a big move, like it happened on the previous day. So this one, right? So these supplies were starting to get taken out. There was a base here, and then this is the first candle, 9:15. This was the demand zone, supply taken out. So now all day there was an upside flow. All right. Bank Nifty as well reacting from this area. There is a lot of demand here. This is not a good area to short the index. All right. For shorting, you want to see. All right. Let's discuss shorting as well since we are talking about it. Let's take up some stock. All right. So basically, for whenever you're shorting, you want to see some kind of exhaustion in. So suppose the stock is going for 4 or 5 up days, right? You first of all you want to see some structure like this, right? And then you want to see that the stock is trying to break out again. When this breakout, it comes back down. So after 4 or 5 bases, so suppose there is one base here, one base here, one base here. Suppose it's going up for like 4 days in a row. After this happens, there will be a time when this demand zone will not hold, all right, and this demand zone will break. So this is where the supply is very strong. So even if the stock has to just go range bound and go up, the supply will at least reject this price 2 or 3 times before the stock breaks out. So this is a very good area to short the stock. And of course, if the market falls, you'll get a very big drop. So always, whenever you're shorting, always play the exhaustion move, not the continuation trend. It's difficult to time the continuation trend. Exhaustion is very easy when you're taking a short trade. So if I pick up some example, let's see India Mart Intermesh. All right. In a downtrend as well. Suppose the stock is in a higher time frame downtrend, like this stock is. That is also. I mean, even when that is happening, you want to see some bit of up move. Exhaustion here, demand gets broken. Now see, this supply is very strong. It takes a lot to break this supply, this one and this one. All right, so you get one profitable shot, and again multiple tests before this gets broken. So you want to play the exhaustion. Right now, see, once this is range bound, now this is not an exhaustion move because there is no uptrend anymore. All right. So this is not a short. This supply is not what I'll take. But again, here if you see demand gets broken, this supply is very strong. Look at the wicks here and then the continuation on the downtrend. So always play the exhaustion on the other side whenever you're playing the trend, because that is the most discounted price you will get inside the trend, right? So always play that. All right, so we're talking about India 50. Yeah. Coral Finac. All right, I'm not sure what that is. All right, it's not even illiquid. Okay, it is a bit. So again, very very far from the lows. I will avoid these structures. I mean, your idea is good. Your chart selection is great, but MMTC is actually bullish. MNTC is good. Any dip is buyable in the stock. MNTC is really good. I think it's reacting from some weekly um, base. Yeah, this one. So it's good. Yeah. Is Bank Nifty bullish? No, Bank Nifty is not bullish. Bank Nifty is not bullish yet. When will it turn bullish? When it starts taking out this supply. All right, this is the last base. So till then it's downtrending. But this is at an area of demand, so you don't want to short it. So not bullish doesn't mean it's bearish. It can be range bound as well. And I'm talking about the intraday chart. On a higher time frame, of course, it's really bullish. It's the most bullish index in the market right now. GDL Infra, I think it's a penny stock. Yeah, don't ask about these stocks, guys. Alright, it's very liquid, but still, I wouldn't. I would stay away from this. JSW Energy, nothing yet. I want some kind of action around this demand. There is no demand zone here. We've been discussing this for the last 15 lives. How do you identify supply taken out? All right. So suppose this is a supply zone. This is a external demand. Supply broken. Let the supply break with a candle, bullish candle, and then when it pulls back, it will form a fresh supply here. So then you want to wait for another up move. So we're not exactly buying when the supply is breaking, all right, because that is just an initiation move, you can say. All right, we want that it comes down and this demand actually holds. So this is how you shift from a downtrending structure to an uptrending structure. So this is where when the supply is the stock is not reacting anymore, that is when you enter into a long trade. All right, so entry is not when the supply is broken, but when it comes back and starts going back up again and then holds this supply, that is when you enter. So it happened. I'll just show an example for this as well. It happened in Bank Nifty a few days ago. Um, just a second. Where is it? Yeah, this one right here. So this was some 5-minute demand zone, and this was some supply right here. All right, and this supply is also there. So you see, here the supply is broken. So I'm not entering straight away here. All right, because there are higher supplies as well. This is not the only supply on the chart. What I'm wanting is I'm wanting some kind of a structural shift in the market, right? And this is what happens when it comes down and just stays here. This is why you enter here and you get that immediate spike up till some next supply. All right. So you actually enter after it starts going back up again, and not exactly when the supply breaks, because that is just a sign of bullishness. That is not confirmed up move. AB Capital, all right. Nothing yet. I mean, you can buy it because promoters are buying it, but chart. I mean, chart wise, it'll take some time. Bitcoin again, it's in a confirmed downtrend. Bitcoin. So we talked about this demand zone a few lives earlier, that there can be a reaction from this demand. It was somewhere here. So there was a nice reaction, but it couldn't even break through this supply, which is here, this little supply right here, and this internal zone. So again, external zone, all right, internal zone, and there is again an internal zone. So anyone which gets taken out, you get a big move. It's that simple, all right. So where was the short entry? Bitcoin, nothing yet. To be honest, there is a zone just at the lows. So right now, we cannot say anything, but it's definitely in a downtrend. So now you see here, this was the internal supply which I was talking about, right? So once this demand zone starts to go, this supply is very strong. All right, this supply becomes very strong, and every time it's a short until it breaks up. Of course, that is given. SRF, all right. SRF is strong. SRF is holding this demand. But again, look at this supply. That is why it gapped down so much today, because this is how the reference range is formed, right? This is what I was. This is why I was telling previously in the previous lives that don't take just the reaction. You want to see sustained bullishness here, bullishness here. All right, sorry. So that is when you will get that move. Deepak spinners. All right, never even heard about this one. Very strong, very strong. All the spinning stocks have moved like this. It's quite illiquid, so I will not really talk about any recommendation here, but the structure is good. And I think Nahar spinning is better. I check it out. Yeah, this is actually much better than um, Deepak spinners. So keep an eye on this as well. Gravita India, nothing yet. It's very far from the 50 EMA. Demand is right here, so nothing yet. JSW is part, all right. It's very illiquid. I think. All right, not illiquid. So can we enter a weekly uptrend at demand? Can we enter get in for the nearest supply? You can, but it's risky. So I mean, I'm assuming you already know if you're asking just for the nearest supply. So that's, I mean, you know what you're doing. So what is this scan PG? What is this scan point weekly VCP? There is no VCP here. Where is the VCP? This leg is bigger than this leg. There is no VCP here. Deepak fertilizer, all right. Nothing yet. Again, let it dip down to proper levels. If it goes up from here, it goes up. Doesn't matter. All right. So you see now, again, this was the demand, and now see the supply. It's rejecting from the supply. So still, the structure is very, very bearish in the intraday time frame. All right. It's rejecting from the supply. Also, 50 EMA on the 1 minute as well. So no longs right now. We can probably see some kind of move again. Asian tiles. All right. Nothing. Why are you holding this? This is probably the worst stock in NSE right now. Aptus, Aptus is good. Aptus is good. You can find an entry, but again, this is what I was talking about. This after even the spike, it got rejected badly. All right, so this is a reference supply. How do you mark a reference range? You just take an external demand. So suppose the stock is this is a 5 minute chart. Stock did something like this. So this is your external demand, which is getting tested, and this is your internal supply. So this becomes your reference range right here. Base is basically a range, nothing else. Between a demand zone and a supply zone. This is a base. Jacksonal Pharmaceutical. Nothing here. Nothing here. Um, nothing here. Just by doing swings, see again the same. These are trivial questions. Swings, you cannot make money every month in swings. You just have to save money, all right? And you have to wait for stuff like this to happen in the market. So per month, you cannot make based on a monthly basis on swings. If the market is bad, it's bad. Just stay out. When it's good, then you'll make the most money. If you're thinking that way, that I have to make 10% per month. So suppose if you're making 5%, if you make, suppose you're thinking that you have to make 5% per month with swings, and market moves up 15% in a month, you will exit everything at 5%. So what's the use? You are not getting the best of the best times, and maybe you're getting a drawdown on the worst times. So don't play with that mentality when the trends are much bigger than 1 month. What factors do you look at additionally? Promoter buying. If promoter is buying, the stock will go up. That is it. Let the promoter do the work for you. Anmol India, all right. Looks all right, but a bit extended, of course. And SMC Global as well. Let's check it out. SMC Global is also good. This is also good. Good charts. You can definitely buy the dip here. All right, so that is it for today, right? There is no long in the index, so don't take a long trade here until these supplies start to get taken out. Actually, the proper supply is here. So even if you get a reaction till here, it might go range bound. So I'm expecting it to be range bound. I'm not really expecting the low to go, which is why I'll not short here because it's already fallen a lot. So nothing for me in the index anymore today. All right. So that is it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at the same time. Hopefully, this is helping you out. All right. Have a good day.